Alrighty, here we're playing Farming Simulator 17 on Snettertons farm. And since last episode, went ahead and fast forward time a little bit more here. Finished planting all the fields we were planting. And pretty much fast forward time. So we're now day 1 of early summer. We got 2, 3, and 4 planted. Also make sure I took care of the animals while we were fast forwarding time there as well. Looks like we got a little more fertilizing that needs to be done yet. But anyway, this episode we're going to finally start planting some soybeans here. Double check, make sure we can still do that. Ooh. Yes, we can. Okay, good. With the soybeans here, we had to wait till the temperature got above 50 degrees. And finally, when we got to early summer here, that's when it finally got 50 degrees. Fast forward to the last day of spring, and it's like, oh, wow, still, I think it was 49 degrees, if I remember correctly. 49, so anyway. Finally over 50 degrees, so we can plant some soybeans. And like I said, we'll plant soybeans here on last field that needs to be planted here. And we'll just get a hired worker going on that. From what I noticed, looks like the grass is ready to harvest. Sunflowers are actually growing quite well as well. Okay. So yes, grass is ready to be mowed here. It's only on the first stage, though, and unless it's changed, you typically want to wait for the grass to get to the second stage. But I figure we're going to go ahead and mow a field, or at least one of the fields anyway, just for something to do. And plus, I want to see, too, how many mowings we can get off a field here with the Seasons mod. From what I've been told, it sounds like we get 2 cuttings. And typically, you know, in real life, you get anywhere from 2 to, yeah, if you push it, maybe 4. Usually where I live, at least anyway, it's usually 3. You know, you get your first cutting, which is usually pretty good. And the second and third cut, mediocre. Also, since last episode, I went ahead and sold all the grains we had in storage. Did I sell the corn? No, corn is still in there yet. So I do have the corn to sell yet. I did not sell that. That's where the money we have currently came from. And with that money, let's see what's here. Choppers. Did want to consider purchasing one of the choppers here, or maybe both of them. We got the Massey Ferguson. Yeah, this would be the pickup for windrows, and then the one for corn. Is it corn the only one that's supported? It doesn't really say, does it? You know what? I think we'll go ahead and get both of those, I'm going to say. Why not? Now we can try them both at least. Actually, no, we do have a John Deere one, too. Did I enable that? Yes, I did. That, again, is only going to be for windrows. Okay. Well, I thought you could do corn with the John Deere one, too. I guess not. Yeah, that's definitely a windrow-only header on there. Okay, anyway. And then under tippers, possibly got some forage wagons. Let's see if we can find them here. Oh, J&M wagons, by the way. For those of you who want the J&M wagons, I do have a link for that in the mod list, finally. I think it was Mathos on the multiplayer server that he finally found them. And we have a link for those finally in the mod list. So, for those who've been looking for the J&M gravity wagons, make sure you check out the mod list. Okay, so they're not under tippers. Probably not under auger wagons, I wouldn't think. Nope. Oh, yes, that's that truck. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure why the Massey Ferguson mower is under forage harvesters, by the way. Not really sure on that. Okay, where else would we find? Oh, possibly under loading wagons. That might make sense. Oh, yes, there they are. Under loading wagons. Okay. We got a Miller forage wagon here. Money-wise, let's buy one for now. Ideally, I'd like to have 2, but we'll buy one for now. And I know somebody a while back was asking for some American-style forage wagons. Well, we finally have some here. They just came out here maybe a week or so ago. Okay, back to the main farm here. So yes, like I said, we finally have some, again, what I would consider to be American-style 4-H wagons. At least for the smaller farmers, anyway. This is what you would see used. I know some of the big outfits. Let's see, do we really have an example? I don't know if there's really an example in here, but basically, you know, like one of these type of style trailers, you know, for the bigger outfits. But yeah, most of the smaller farmers, this is what you would see used. Anyway, let's grab, where'd the mower go? Oh, I think the mower's over in the combine shed over here. And we're going to start mowing grass. Like I said, we'll probably just do one field for now. We'll do maybe like field 1. And then the other 2 fields, we'll probably wait till they actually are, till the second growth stage. At least, again, I'm assuming that's the same way it works here in Seasons mod. We'll find out if that's the case or not. And again, for those of you who have not watched any of the Snettertons farm series here so far, we are playing with the Seasons mod. And for those of you not familiar with that mod, it basically adds seasons to the game. So we started off with spring, and I currently have it set to a 9-day season. Now that's the default, by the way. So it's currently set to 9 days, so each season takes 9 days. So by the time we complete a year, it'll be, let's see, 36 in-game days. That's how long it's going to take. Which is actually quite a bit, by the way. Well, you know what? I could probably fertilize this one more time, too, I think. Probably should do that. That'll definitely increase our yield as well. Even though technically, you know, at this point, it'd be a little late to fertilize, but hey, whatever. Got our tracked Massey Fergs here that we're still using with the fertilizer spreader. And yes, looks like I can fertilize this yet, so that's good. And you can definitely see where the field boundary is here. Actually, looks like a little bit greener grass here on this side than this side. That's a good sign, right? Probably should do a headland as well, but we'll have to wait till the fertilizing's done. I'm interested to see how this mower works. I've been told it's interesting, so we'll find out. I'm assuming it's just like a self-propelled mower, but and width on that would be 5 meters. That's actually not too bad. Oh, we actually move right along with it too. Yeah, nice 12 miles an hour. Nothing to complain about there, that's for sure. You know, a nice cheap 5 meter, 12 mile per hour mower. I think you can actually put something on the back too if you want. It does have a hitch. Doesn't turn super sharp. I would have rather expected with the steering type on this, we probably could have pivoted it right around, but I guess not quite. Well, that's about as basic as a cab as you can get. I see 3 levers, a foot pedal, and a steering wheel. One would have to assume there's like a little control panel somewhere for like PTO or something, but maybe it's one of the levers. Could very well be. And we can hire a worker. Okay, so good to know on that as well. We can hire the worker if we would like to. Oh, maintenance. 29.9 engine hours or 9 days until maintenance is required. Good to know. Probably some of our other vehicles are going to be needing some maintenance here pretty quick. And yes, by the way, it is costing a bloody fortune to fast forward time here with the Seasons mod. Costs us about $4,000 every day we fast forward time for maintenance. So that, by the way, for those who wonder where all the money is going to, that is where the money is going to. At least most of it anyway. We've basically fast forward time, what, about 9 days now with no source of income. So 9 times 4, you know, $36,000 in the hole, plus seating costs, hired worker costs, etc. Hopefully this season will make some good money. And we'll see once how it goes too. We might do a shorter season. Again, like I said, this is the first time I've played with a Seasons mod, so I've pretty much just left everything at the default, you know, other than changing it to Fahrenheit temperature scale. Everything else is default as far as days and ground layers and all that good stuff. Once it's mowed, we could probably run the fertilizer spreader back over it again from the looks of it. Or if we can hire a worker here, we can get away with it. See what a hired worker here does. And then I'm going to go grab the tractor and the new chopper we just bought. Let's see, what tractor do we want? We use the John Deere quite a bit. Maybe try one of the Olivers. Speaking of tractors, I do have a couple of new tractors. At least one new tractor we've downloaded recently. See if it's showing up in the game here. I haven't tested it yet. We do have the Case 3588. That is one of the newer tractors. Haven't tested that one yet either. I've been told that one's pretty good, so hopefully we'll try that. Whoa, $149,000. That's a bit of an expensive tractor. 450 horsepower. Wow. I didn't think that tractor had that much horsepower. Anyway, the other one we're looking at, John Deere 8440, obviously. That is how much? $128,000. Still not the tractor I'd recently downloaded, though. We got a couple of Fords. I think I mentioned those already. Here we go. The John Deere 89 series. We got 8970, 8960. Just two of them there. Okay. So 370 and 300, or 400 horsepower. That's actually a pretty good amount of horsepower there. Singles. Twins, 22 duals, 30 duals. Oh, triples too. Yeah, 22 or 30 triples. Wow. Nice wheel choices there. Looked pretty good from the picture. Like I said, I haven't tried it out myself yet. But looks rather promising, I thought. And let's see. We want the one with the pickup for the windrows. Hopper has completed. Hopefully that's the fertilizer spreader, not the mower. Never know with the hired workers nowadays. Where's the hitch? Oh, right where the pipe is. Okay. This wagon looks a little big behind this forager for some reason. And again, like I said, it would be nice to have another wagon here, but I think at this point we better save the money and wait. So we'll definitely have to fast forward time some more than likely. And doing so is definitely going to cost us some money. And like to try to keep the money in the positive if we can. At least that'd be ideal if you ask me. Okay, we'll fold that out there. I don't know how well it's going to fold out with the duals on here. I guess we'll find out. And lower it down, turn it on. Oh yeah, it actually works with the duals on the tractor too. Yeah, nice. Not particularly fast, that's for sure. We seem to be limited to 6 miles per hour, which chopping with something like this, that's probably pretty realistic. Actually, maybe even a little fast, actually. Now, can we set up with GPS here? If we set this to roughly 5 meters, we should be able to. Actually, probably not really. I don't know if we can set an offset large enough for this. Yeah, we'll call it good. This might work. Yeah, this looks like the 4-inch wagon is working quite nicely. It's actually about the right sized chopper for this 4-inch wagon as well. For those who remember, we used these 4-inch wagons back in 15 as well. But the choppers in 15 would tend to blow it in through the top. Just because the pipe height on the 4-inchers in 15 were a little bit taller. Not quite set up for this wagon. Let's see, can I use the GPS on here? We maybe shift it over just a little bit. I think we can. Get right down the center line there. There we go. Probably cannot hire a worker. No. Rather didn't think so. And we probably won't chop all this grass, by the way. We'll maybe chop this load. And then maybe we'll pick up the rest of it so we can save some for the cows and sheep as well. And anyway, we'll read some comments here. Chevy Man was asking, why do you make Courseplay do the work when you can do it yourself? Well, yeah, I guess you could do everything yourself, but then the amount of time it would take to do everything yourself. That's the reason you use Courseplay. Courseplay can do some of the tasks for you, so you can do more. Tyler was saying, love the video. Maxwell was saying, how do I download the mods for single player? For single player, I have a mod list in the description. And that mod list is a Word document again. We're just going to skip a couple rows here so I can make the turn easier. So for all the mods I have in single player, there is a mod list in the description you can check. You know, for example, I'm pretty sure I have the Massey Ferguson pack in here, the Oliver tractors, the 4-inch wagon, that should all be in there. And again, these are mostly single player mods there. Again, if you want to join the multiplayer server, make sure you check out any one of my multiplayer videos or the multiplayer links for the servers, for the mods. Just making the turns here. I think the mower's doing a good job at least. Oscar was saying the Southern Cross Station is in Australia. I live in Australia here, and there are a lot of 2,000 or more acre fields that are very oddly shaped. That would probably explain the Southern Cross map. And again, for those of you who have not seen that, we started a new map on the multiplayer server again. We're now on Southern Cross, which according to Oscar here is probably a Australian map then, which I did not actually know that. The Wheelbarrow Bros was saying, love the videos. Thank you very much for that. Brett was saying, you sure like to repeat myself. Yes, I do. And probably the reason for that, it seems like I get asked a lot of the same questions sometimes. So sometimes I repeat it 2 or 3 times just to make sure everybody gets it. I find it rather amusing. Sometimes I get asked, like I said, the same question, and I've answered it, twice in the video or something like that, and I'm still getting asked the question. So it's like, okay, maybe I better repeat it a few more times. Animal is saying, what's wrong with being a truck driver? I'm English. English truck driver and proud of it. Well, that's too bad. I don't think I ever said there's anything wrong with being a truck driver, did I? I know I have said before, I definitely don't want to be one. Not with the crazy drivers out on the roads nowadays. I think that's about all I've said about truck drivers. Nance was saying, stop using courseplay. It's not realistic. Not sure I understand how you figure that. But that's definitely not going to happen. Oh, I'm sorry, it was not Nance. It was Ethan that said that. Farm Life was saying, great video. Thank you very much for that. Must be where the hired worker took over, by the way. My GPS is no longer lining up. Oh, well. How are we looking on the forage wagon here, by the way? It's starting to fill up. Lane was saying, what is the menu to the right? Talking about the multiplayer video. It's kind of annoying. The menu, it's not really a menu, is the TeamSpeak window. Those are the individuals that are on TeamSpeak. So again, that way you can see who's on the TeamSpeak server there while I am recording. And you've noticed as well, if somebody's talking, you can actually see who's talking based on the blue light coming on their name. Ooh, just made that turn. Third Gaming was saying, can you please do 50 episodes on Southern Cross? Somehow I don't think Southern Cross is going to make it 50 episodes. Again, typically the multiplayer maps usually don't last very long. Again, just because it's multiplayer. We get multiple people playing. It all depends how quick the map goes. Sometimes it's going to last 5 episodes. Maybe it'll last 20. Really hard to say. It depends, too, on how popular the map is and how well it's going. If we're having problems or something like that, then it's going to be maybe a little bit shorter. Helper Frisk has completed their task. Assuming that's the planter. Oh, he is actually at the end of the field. Okay, good. Boito was saying, good video. Thank you very much for that. On YouTube was saying about the John Deere 8R with triples. I'm speechless. This is a good looking mod. I need to get Farming Simulator for the PC, and then I need to get this mod. Again, for those of you who have not seen that one, did another mod review there. Another John Deere. Yes, I know I do a lot of John Deere mod reviews. Another John Deere 8R. I think this is actually the third 8R mod review I've done now so far. Oh, we're full. But yeah, for those of you who have not seen this 8R, definitely worth checking out. This one lets you have triples on it. At least triples on the back anyway. So you have duals on the front and then triples on the rear. Okay, now question is, what am I going to do with this? I haven't actually fully decided that yet. Do we want to take it to the biogas plant? You know what? I don't know. Do we have a fermenting silo on the main farm? We do. I might actually use that maybe. That'd be perfect. And make sure, yeah, probably should fold that in for transport. Looking at the gauges on the Oliver here reminds me of the John Deere 4020. For those of you who have not seen that tractor, we'll have to take a quick look at that here. The gauges are in a rather interesting location. And I seem to remember that's probably the way it was back in Farming Simulator 15 as well with the John Deere 4020. You know, again, an older tractor, not the greatest of looking mods, but it's not terrible. Not exactly great either. Okay, like I said, do we have a fermenting silo on the farm here? I don't know if we actually do or not. That'd be the easiest thing to do with the chaff here at this point. Got the seeds and fertilizer production. I don't think we have a fermenting silo around here that I know of. Unless there's one by the cows. Maybe we should check that. I guess we just came past there, didn't we? Seems like there was a fermenting silo. Again, I don't remember where it was, if there was one. Kind of hard sometimes, too. You know, we're playing different maps here. It's like, okay, what's on this map? What's on that map? Yeah, let's take a quick look at the 4020 here. Like I said, the gauges on this tractor. You can see the indentations there where they're supposed to be. But if you look up just a little bit, center your screen there, you'll see two little knobs or white pieces. That's where the gauges are. So if you see, if we speed up, you can see the RPMs there. I don't know what the other one's for. Maybe a fuel gauge, possibly. Yeah, rather interesting, I thought. You can actually see them from this view here as well. And let's just hop over to the cows here quick a minute. Let's see, we do have a couple of silos over here. I don't know if these are fermenting silos, though. A little bit different style than... Ooh, gold nugget. Let's pick that up. A little bit different style than what I'm used to seeing, so I'm not sure on that. We do have a mixed rations maker over here. That's kind of nice. Have to remember that. We do have a bunker, though, so we can maybe put the chaff in the bunker. That'd be good. Rather than taking it to the biogas plant, we'll keep it here at the cows at the very least. Manure, possibly? Though there's none in there. That's kind of interesting. Doesn't say anything either. Okay. We should have actually manure, because... pretty sure the cows have everything they need. Yes, the cows do have everything they need. They have 4,295 manure. Not sure what this is then. Is the manure over on the other side? Yes, there's the liquid. Oh, yes, and there's the solid manure as well. So I wonder what that one over there is. I guess that's nothing, apparently. Okay, so let's grab the tractor here again. We'll just tab to it. The first one on the list there. Perfect. Head over to the cows here. Eddie was saying I only knew of 30 and 40-inch rows. I can't say I've ever heard of 40-inch rows. I know there's 30 and 36. But yes, there is 22-inch rows as well. I don't know how common that is. As far as I know, 30 inch is kind of like the most common yet, to my knowledge. But 22 is probably becoming a little bit more common now. You know, narrow the rows up, plant more rows that way. And definitely over the length of a field, that'll definitely add up. We just went past the cows, didn't we? But the cows are the first road over here. Matthews was saying that our 8R is a really good tractor. Works great. And again, like I said, rather interesting having a tractor that offers you triples. Triples on that size of a tractor anyway. Tyler was saying, so jealous because consoles don't have this. Make consoles great again. Well, that's like the lamest unload animation I've ever seen. Okay, then. How quickly does it unload? Kind of slowly. That's kind of the way it is in real life, too. They're not the quickest unloaders, that's for sure. Oh, this is a fermenting silo. Okay, perfect. It actually is one. I was kind of looking around here for a menu. There it is. So, yes, we do get silage out of this, looks like. Excellent. Okay, back to the field. We'll probably do one more load here. And then, like I said, we'll probably pick up the rest. Yeah, we do have a forage wagon, I'm pretty sure. We didn't sell that. It is over there somewhere. Yes, I can see it through the trees. We'll probably just pick up the rest as grass then. Hayden was saying that John Deere 4760 looks really good with that planter. I have to agree with you. The John Deere 4760 with the 12-row planter looks particularly good. That's a kind of a good combination if you ask me. Farm Life was asking, do you have a John Deere 4640? No, we do not. Okay, I'm back in business here. X-Rile was saying, the sheep and cows spill grass, food that disappears at night like the windrows do. And the pigs spill corn, which does not disappear at midnight. That's why the sheep and the cows are clean. Good information there. I did not know that. So that's why the sheep and cows don't need cleaning, or at least as much anyway. And if we look at that, oh, the sheep are actually kind of dirty. But yeah, the pigs are like really bad. Like we should probably clean them somehow. I think the only thing I have though is the JCB skid loader. Because yeah, we don't really have any front loader tractor. At least we don't have any that has a front loader on it anyway. Shane was saying, great video. Thank you very much for that. And looking at the time, looks like it's time to wrap up the video here as well. So that if folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.